Hi, everyone. Welcome to Dividends, the show for and about your College of Business. And we've got a real special guest today, the new dean of the College of Business. Scott Grawe joins us. And tried to get you on last month, but man, you hit the ground running.
I did.
So we are really happy to have you today. First of all, welcome to the program, welcome to the university, and welcome to the community, because they're all combined.
I appreciate it. So I'm very happy to be in all aspects.
So I think the best thing to do is just to sort of tell folks a bit about you. You came here from Iowa State.
I did.
What attracted you about the position?
Several things attracted me here. So, first and foremost, and it's going to sound cliche, but the people. When I came down, and even before coming down to interview for the opportunity, I knew people at Mississippi State and knew that they were genuine people who were doing some great research and just fun to be around and work with. And that was the first thing that attracted me here. But we've got some great students, some great faculty, and I love the engagement that we've got with the business community.
Well, and that's a similarity with Iowa State, right? They're both land-grant institutions, about the same student population. So there were some familiar things, correct?
It was. Coming from a land-grant institution, and I do believe in the land-grant mission, providing educational opportunities for all. And Mississippi State embraces that fully, just like the institution I came from. I come from a place that's got a strong vet school, strong ag college, strong engineering program, strong business program, and coming into an environment where we can build some similar relationships across campus, across the university, and I think by building some of those relationships and working together across the university, you can really make an impact, not just in the business world, but in the state of Mississippi as well.
Well, I want to talk more about your vision and the College of Business, but first I'd like folks to get to know you. So you tell us about your family.
Yeah, so I'm coming down here with my wife. So I've been married for just over 25 years, and we've got this recorded. I remembered how long I've been married. So.
I won't ask you the date.
Please don't. But I've got 4 kids. My oldest just graduated from college, and she's moved off to New York City. I've got 2 that are college age right now. And 1 that's in high school, but they're scattered. So I've got, my youngest is in Maine. I mentioned the one in New York City. 2 that are still in Iowa, but different parts of the state. So we thought this was a good opportunity for us to try something new.
Well, look, you can't do this unless your spouse is on board.
Yes.
Right. So when you came home and said, "Honey, we're going to Starkville," tell me about that conversation.
So it was, it was several conversations, and she gave me one rule: we're not moving any farther north. So we're in Ames, Iowa, and you know what? Yes, it's warmer here. No, you don't have to shovel the heat. You do have to shovel the white stuff that falls on the ground in Ames. We loved our time in Ames, but both of us just kind of felt like, this is an opportunity to do something new and to do it together. This isn't just me coming to Starkville and to Mississippi State University. This is both of us coming to town, and her needing to be excited about it too, and she was. So it took one trip to Starkville. We were treated very kindly by strangers, people who didn't know who I was and what I was here for, who really did, embrace us as just new members of the community, or even prospective members of the community. And that's a quick way to my wife's heart. So, and we are absolutely loving our time here so far.
Well, you said she really likes women's college basketball, and so that she had to be aware of the Mississippi State Lady Bulldogs.
Oh yes. So she played Division I. So she played at Iowa State University. I played baseball back there. So we met as athletes, and we've been women's basketball season ticket holders for many years, and that's not going to change here. So we've both of us have dug in. We're both excited. We've got our tickets on order for women's basketball, and we're pretty excited to get going here.
So how do you feel about being part of the SEC too? I know that we are SEC centric and we think we're better than anybody at everything, but you looking forward to football season and that whole experience?
I am. I'm looking forward to my first SEC football game. I've not been to an SEC football game live in person. Others in my family have, and they are excited about it. They tell me I need to be excited about this, so I'm really looking forward to this. The one thing I will say about the SEC, it's probably the one conference that still understands geography. So
Maybe.
exactly. So, but no, we're very excited for SEC athletics.
I want to ask you one more question before we take a break. What was your first impression when you first walked around campus?
It felt like a campus. I love the fact that it's there all together. It's a walkable campus. You can get from one side to the other, and you can escape to campus. You don't feel like you're still in the middle of a town. You don't feel like you're in the middle of a city. You can walk onto campus, immerse yourself in all things Mississippi State, whether you're a student, a faculty member, or just a member of the community, just looking for the opportunity to explore the library, any one of our buildings on campus, and that's a lot of fun.
We're going to take a break and come back and talk more with our guest, Scott Grawe, the new dean of the College of Business, in just a moment. Stay tuned.
There are a number of student activities that students can get involved with, but few of them know that they can start a company while they're in school. We want students to consider that when they come to school here, they have 4 years to create themselves a job, create a new venture, and that's really what the center is here to provide. We're here to provide the resources, connections, and programs that can help them start a company. The background of our students is extremely diverse. All across campus, students are getting involved, forming these companies, and people, all sorts of different backgrounds, coming together to create these startups that are just doing amazing things. Regardless of where you're at in the entire startup process, whether you're coming in with a fresh idea, or you have an established company, or just are trying to get interested in entrepreneurship, we want to put students in a position where they feel encouraged and supported to pursue their passions so they can make an impact no matter what field or industry they go into.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Scott Grawe, the new dean of the College of Business, and we've been talking about that experience of coming to Starkville and first impressions of the university. Let's get inside the halls of the College of Business. What has that been like? And I must say, and it sounds like I'm sucking up to the boss, and I am, you've impressed us because you've been doing a lot of listening, like, hey, what's going on? What are your needs? And we appreciate that. But what have the first couple months been like?
So it's been a lot of fun. One thing, it didn't take very much time at all to realize that people are passionate about talking about the things that they're doing, the things that they love doing here on campus. So, just sitting down with you and Eric in the East Center and seeing, one, the construction, the continued progress that we're making, the activity on Main Street and throughout the community. That's happening. It's exciting, but we've also got exciting things happening in other departments and throughout the halls of McCool, and that's been a lot of fun. Just getting a chance to hear not just what they're doing, but I'm more interested in what do you want to do. What can we do going forward? We're going to be transforming MSU, new strategic plan at the university level. We're going to be rolling out our own strategic plan over the course of the next year, and we'll be working on together with faculty and other stakeholders to create that. So I'm really interested in trying to tease out where can we make our mark? Where can we move the needle for the college going forward? And those are the fun conversations to have.
Well, we're a land grant, and like similar to Iowa State, so helping the people of the state is part of the mission of a land grant. But I've heard you talk about how do we break down silos within the university and get some synergy going even outside the College of Business. So that seems to be something that you'd like to focus on.
It is. It's, we've got, take our MBA program, for example. We're producing phenomenal graduates across campus that are going to be leaders in whatever company that they go to work for, or with the help of the East Center to start themselves. They're going to need some of that business expertise, and so looking for ways to, let them know about the MBA program, to work with them to prepare them for the MBA program, so that way they can walk into those companies, ready to take on some leadership roles when the time is right. I think there's some other, we've got some folks that are working across campus on cyber initiatives and data analytics and so forth. And being able to take experts from across the campus to work together to solve a problem is really the best way to solve some of these bigger problems facing us today.
So your background is supply chain.
It is.
Right? What got you interested in that, and how do you look upon the supply chain department here? I guess it's not a department, it's a couple of guys, Frank and some guys.
Exactly. So, first, I think the world of our supply chain team here at Mississippi State. They've done some great research, but I can hardly keep up with the emails that I get from them wanting me to engage with the businesses that they're working with, which is music to my ears. I love it when we can get students plugged into the business world. One thing that's helpful to understand is if you walk across campus in chemistry, biology, engineering, you see lab space all over these buildings. Our labs are the businesses, so we need to get our students out inside the four walls of these various businesses. And if you're in supply chain, those four walls may or may not be standing, because you're looking at ports and trucking operations and so forth. So there's a lot of opportunity there. In terms of what drew me to supply chain management, I used to work for Target Corporation, managing supply chain operations, worked for Polaris Industries. So I had a corporate life pre-academic, and I absolutely loved my time managing supply chain operations. No 2 days were alike, and that's it made every day exciting when I showed up to the office.
So you've got the background in supply chain. What made you decide that you wanted a leadership role? Because I don't know why anybody wants to be a dean, because with tenure, you have all the responsibility, but not necessarily the authority to, okay, we're doing this. Like in the private sector, you say, guys, we're going this way.
Right.
Either go this way, or it's a little harder.
It is a little more challenging. So one thing that, the one piece of advice that I would always give my supply chain students is, if you want to be successful, you got to know how to build and manage relationships. So supply chains don't work if the relationships are broken. And that's what it takes to move into leadership. And when we look at academic leadership, it goes back to the relationships. I've got to have strong relationships across campus in order to move the College of Business forward. If we try and move the College of Business forward in our own silo, it's just not going to happen. We can't do it. We've also got the same partnerships outside the college as well.
Well, we're excited that you're here. I'd like to hear more about your baseball career. You got to come back and talk about your baseball career at Iowa State. And we look forward to having you back. And again, thanks for joining us today.
I appreciate your time today.
That's going to do it for us. We appreciate you joining us today as well, and we'll see you next time on Dividends.